Hey ladies and gentlemen, this is Robert Mercer here, just doing a quick video on the personalized settings for the 2018 Accord. You can see here I have my personalized settings worksheet sitting right here for me. I'm just going to go through all the stuff that's required for a the Honda requirements for a proper delivery on the vehicle. Alright, so let's start off first of all. I'm going to be skipping a couple things here because I only have one cell phone on me, so I can't really go through everything right now. But we're going to start up here with the audio system, alright? So first things first, let's take a look at audio settings. So I'm going to go into FM right here. Move the phone over a little bit for y'all. So you can see here, right now I'm on 95.7. Now one of the cool things here is that I can very easily add different stations, so to my presets. So for example, I can press and hold here, and there we go, that's added the preset. Now you see at the bottom it says HD1. That's because we are on HD radio. I can pop up the HD radio display here and take a look at the different substations. So if I wanted HD radio 2, and I wanted that on preset 2, there we go. You can see I have HD1 and HD2. Now, to change to a different station, I can either scan, and then like stop here on 96X, press and hold to add this one, or I can go to station list right here, and I can see a list of all my available stations all around with my area. So you can see all these, showing the different HD channels split out. Pretty cool, right? So I can also hit tune right here, and that'll allow me to go into a page here where I can actually punch it in manually. So let's say 1025, which I don't think exists in Virginia. Nope, doesn't exist here, but you can see that's pretty easy to use. Now, if I want to change my audio source, I can press this button right here. You can see now I have the option to go to, let's say, my Sirius XM. I can do something similar. I can go to channel list right here. I can go into the keypad. So let's say I wanted 53. There you go. And adding a preset's the same thing. Now, to add another preset other than these three, I can press and hold here. And then I can scroll over a bit more and add some more presets on that side. This option right here allows me to go through different categories. So Christian music, jazz and classical, family, that sort of thing. All right, pretty cool, right? Right. All right, great. So if I click home up here at the top, you can see I have a couple other options here. I can bring up my trip computer, current drive information there, hit home again, and I can also swipe over to the side. Now I also have all my preset Honda options right here set up on my for all my different audio sources, USB 1 and 2. I can go into Honda Link, which is going to pop an error because I don't have a phone connected to it right now. Yeah, see? Phone connection status, disconnected, diagnostic location enabled. So I can hit home right there and pop back out to the main screen. Now one of the nice things with the Accords, like this one, this is a 2.0 Sport, is that you do have your hard buttons here and also over here. So I can, for example, hit source right there and go into my source change. I can go back to audio right there. I can go to phone right there. Yeah, no device connected. Or I can go to clock right up at the top, get that nice little back screen with the clock. And I can also hit settings, change the clock faces and day and time information right there. Let's go back to home. There we go. And then you do have an audio knob here. And then you have a tune scroll button right here. So you can see I'm jumping through my different presets up at the top. So if I quick change the source back to FM, 1025, and I'm scrolling through the different audio options right there. There we go. Okay. So, moving forward. If I come down to here, I have my air conditioning options right here. You can see right now it's in synchronized mode, right there. And then I can actually change the temperature setting. You'll see when I change the temperature there, it's going to actually change it for both. Both sides will change. You get that nice light up effect there. I'm going to turn that off. That's going to turn automatic back on. Right now, the air conditioning system is being completely controlled by the computer system. So I have it set to 72. It's going to take care of the vents for me automatically. And it's also going to take care of what the fan setting is. Now, if I want to control that manually, I can change the fan setting right here. And then I can also change the mode right there. I'm going to put it back into auto. I'm also going to turn off the audio so I don't get a copyright strike. All right, let's move. And then your heated seats are here on the left and the right. So you can see I can hit that once, 3, 2, 1, back to off. All right. Moving down here. In here, this is where your initial plug for your Apple CarPlay is in Android Auto. So to connect that, I just plug my USB port in there, and then I plug the other end into my phone. If with Android you have to have Android Auto installed, with Apple it's built in. Moving down, we have the push button shifter here. This is borrowed from Acura, and it's pretty easy to use. You know, we're in park right now. I'm going to go into reverse by pulling this backward. So I'm going to back to park. And this one you pull backward towards you, okay? Neutral, you just press it in. Drive, press it down. Now the cool thing is, and I want you to see this, is that if I'm in drive and I open my door, watch this. It's going to put me back in park automatically. Okay. Coming down to here, this is a feature on the Accord Sport, and I believe the Touring has this as well. I have the Sport mode button right here, and when I press that button, see, I get this nice red indicator. I get my displays change a little bit. Pretty cool, right? And then I also have the Econ mode button right next to it. You'll notice Econ automatically pops down to Sport mode. Sport mode takes me out of Econ mode. If I want to go back to regular drive mode, I just press the Sport button and I come back. Moving down, I do have my electronic parking brake right here. So I can release the parking brake by putting my foot on the brake pedal and then pressing down on that lever. And then to set it, I pull it up and it sets. Pretty cool, right? And then I have my brake hold button right below that. Okay. Moving up to here, to change the center screen option, I just hit the home button. See that little home button right underneath my thumb? And now I can change whatever this screen is displaying. So you can see speed and time, audio, phone, traffic sign information, driving support, driver attention, maintenance, that sort of stuff. So I'm going to hit home again, or I'm going to, let's just go into the safety say, we'll go into the traffic sign. On the steering column itself, I have those buttons there. I have my volume buttons here. Skip forward, skip back, and to back out of a screen. Down below, this picks up a call, this hangs up the call, and this answers the call. Cutting over to here. So my main button here, this is like the cruise main button. You can see when I press this off, my ACC and LCAS indicators turn off. When I press it on, they reappear. Okay. This button here controls the follow distance for my adaptive cruise control. This button turns on my lane keeping assist. And then I turn on the adaptive cruise. When I'm moving forward, I just press the set button, it'll pop up. Now, of course, my seatbelt's not on and I'm not in drive, so it's not gonna do anything. And then, of course, you do have your paddle shifters on the Sport and the Touring right behind here. Okay, so now what else do we have to look at? We have to look at some different settings. So if I come over to here, let me switch hands here, hit next. Oh, I apologize. I didn't have to hit next, just had to hit settings right there in the center. So the first one we're gonna look at is the auto door lock. So this controls how the vehicle automatically locks its doors and when it does that. So if I scroll down here, door and window setup, auto door lock. Your options here are off, with vehicle speed, and shift from park. With vehicle speed, locks the doors at 10 miles an hour. Shift from park, when the vehicle, as soon as you shift out of park, it'll lock the doors up. I prefer just leaving on with vehicle speed. So hit save, saved. All right, and then we have the auto door unlock right down here. So it's right now set for when all doors, when driver door opens. That's the default mode. You can also set it to when shifted from park or when you turn off the ignition. I prefer to set it to when you shift out of park, simply because what typically happens is as soon as I stop the car, that's when everyone's trying to jump out. So I just make it a little bit easier on myself. The next one I'm going to cover here is actually the walkaway auto lock. So what this does is, as soon as you walk away from the vehicle with the key fob, see, key fob, there's the key fob, in your pocket, and it's not inside the vehicle, it'll lock the doors for you automatically. I love this feature. I don't know why we have it turned off by default, but we do. Okay. Next thing up is the key and remote unlock settings. So I'm going to go up here, key and remote unlock mode. So right now it's pressed, which door unlocks when using the key or keyless access remote. So this is when you press this button here, and it's configured to open the driver door only on the first button press. Even when it's set to this mode, if you press the unlock button twice, it will still unlock all the doors. So press the button once in this mode to unlock the driver door, press it twice to unlock all the doors. So I usually just leave it as it is, a driver door only, and hit save there. Okay. Next one is actually not in this page. This is over in keyless access setup, and that's the door unlock mode. So this is when you grab the driver door handle with the key in your pocket or on you, which door unlocks. And on this vehicle, it'll actually unlock, right now it's set just to unlock the driver door. I recommend leaving it that way in most cases, simply because, let's say you're in a dark parking lot, you grab the door handle, unlock the car, jump in. You don't want someone being able to jump in on the passenger side or in the back without you knowing. So just leave it. I recommend leaving it right there. Okay, next thing we're going to take a look at here is actually under the driver assistance system. So the first thing that we're required to go over is the lane keeping assist suspend beep. And what that does is, if you have the lane keeping assist enabled and it's locked onto the road lines and then it loses track of them, let's say you go through an intersection or you're on the highway and there's road work, so there are lines everywhere, right? When it suspends, it'll beep at you if this is turned on. I recommend turning it on just so that you have that awareness, okay? The other setting in here is one that I don't recommend turning on, which is the adaptive cruise forward vehicle detect beep. Basically, if a vehicle is moved into and out of adaptive cruise range, it'll beep at you. I recommend leaving it off because it will drive you insane on the highway. Okay? All right, so now I'm going to give you a pretty basic setup as well of how to connect your smartphone using the Bluetooth. So if we go into settings, connections, and this will always work. You go to Bluetooth right here, and then you hit connect new device. Connect new device. Thank you. So what you want to do is you want to go into the Bluetooth settings on your phone, if it's an iPhone or an Android. And when you do that, it'll say your device is now discoverable. It needs to be discoverable. Okay, so you have to go into your Bluetooth settings. You'll hit OK, and then it'll search for an available device. And then once you find it, you press on the device, you hit connect. It'll ask you to match the pairing code between your device. You hit pair on your phone, and it'll pair up for you. So nice little feature. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, as I said, you plug your cable into this USB port here, then plug it into your phone. If it's an iPhone, it'll connect automatically. If it's an Android phone, you will need to first download the Android Auto app from the Google Play Store. And I'll try and see if I can put a link to that in the description. All right, so that's about that. What you can also do, one quick word of warning. So this remote transmitter, this thing, the keyless access mode actually operates on a similar frequency to your smartphone. So if you have that in the same pocket as your smartphone, sometimes it won't authenticate correctly with the vehicle and the keyless entry won't work. Just leave them in different pockets, or do what I do. I leave my, if you don't mind it hanging off your belt, I leave my key fob for my demo. Gotta get it out here. On my little D-ring and clip it to my belt. That way it's, free and clear of where my smartphone sits in my pocket, and I don't have to worry about interference functioning with it. Just something to keep in mind. Now, there's a lot of other information on this vehicle settings worksheet. If you look at it, you got all sorts of different controls here, how they function. Definitely take a look at it. As always, it's a pretty handy feature. Now, the vehicle I'm looking at here does not have the full Honda Link capability, but you can see some of the capabilities here in the back. So this is on the vehicles that have, I believe it's just on the Touring, that has the, what is it? The Wi-Fi transmitter built in on the Touring model. But you can see you have a lot of really cool different functionality here. My favorite's remote, because it gives you this remote start and adjustable climate control on your smartphone. Also remote unlock, alarm alert, speed alert, detecting a stolen vehicle, that sort of thing. But yeah, you can see a lot of cool features, different packages they have. 3-month trial for remote with $110 a year, and then security's an $89 a year. It comes out to less than $10 a month for remote. I really like it. Just to have that capability, remote starting, from your phone anywhere you want. It's kind of like the Viper remote start systems that they were selling, that they still sell, just built in and factory from Honda. So anyways, folks, thanks so much for watching. I hope this has answered some questions you may have. If you have any other questions, please feel free to ask. Oh, one last thing. If you ever want to turn off some of the safety features like the collision mitigation braking system or the lane departure warning, what you do is you go down here, you see this little button right here in front of my knee, little car in a circle, you press that and then you actually go up here into your center information display and you can turn on and off different features. So I can turn off for departure mitigation, and you'll see in the bottom of my screen there, the little green car, the circle's gone gray. That means some of the features have been turned off. Okay. If you turn off all of them, it changes that logo as well. So if I turn that off, blind spot information system off, and I turn off my CMBS, the whole thing goes gray at the bottom. That's just telling me that all my safety functionality is shut down right now. Okay. All right, so that about covers it, folks. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any other questions, you can drop them in the comments below. Let me fix this. I always do this in every car I show. Just turn everything to auto and let it do its thing. Thank you so much for watching. As I said, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I can cover most of the stuff on the Accord Tourings, and if I can't answer it, I know people who can. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a great time. This has been Robert Mercer here at